backyard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Your biggest investment is your home. Protect it while also improving its appearance with Earthworks of Northwest Florida. We have sand, mulch, gravel, or lay down decorative stone, all available for pickup and delivery. Discover your dream landscape with Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Imagine the moment you proudly pull up to your home that you've worked so hard for, enhanced by quality mulch, decorative stones, and more. Let's make it happen today. Request a quote online at earthworkspc.com or swing by the office at 2005 Industrial Drive. Love the land you live on.
Now, July is going to be a hot month weather-wise, y'all. But the deals on portable buildings at Bestway Portable Buildings will cool things down. Stop by and see owner Jason Mulder and let him help you choose just the right building for your needs. Bestway Portable Buildings is located just north of the Old Mall, Highway 231, Panama City, and online at bestwayportablebuildings.com. Bestway Portable Buildings, the best in portable, period. And a Golden Age builder.
There's a reason we call it the big one, because the biggest deals of the year are happening now at Panama City Toyota. And you can get 3.99% APR on the award-winning Camry, plus 90 days until you make your first payment, and 3.99% on the new RAV4, plus 90 days until you make your first payment. Get 2.99% on the Bolt Tacoma, or take the lead and get 1.99% on the powerful Tundra. The big one, right now at Panama City Toyota.
Offers expire August 4th. For details, visit PanamaCityToyota.com.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
Krispy Kreme Donuts has unveiled a new donut collection with a heroic twist. In partnership with Warner Brothers Discovery, it's the Hungry for Heroes collection. Choose from Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, DC Comics' most iconic heroes. Available now at Krispy Kreme Donuts in front of HCA Hospital on 23rd Street in Panama City and on the Ross Clark Circle in Dothan. Krispy Kreme Donuts since 1937, where you get them hot.
When the chips are down and the games are close, the 2025 Atlanta Braves don't give up the fight.
Ozuna sends one soaring to deep left field. That's got wings and an engine, and it's 3-1 Braves.
Tonight, the Braves head to Arlington for a series against Adolis Garcia and the Texas Rangers at Globe Life Field.
Braves traveling to Texas, pregame 5:50, first pitch 7:05. Your home for the Braves on the Gulf Coast, ESPN Northwest Florida.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVL2 Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota, ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the next evolution of sports talk radio. The biggest stories and the biggest reactions. From college to the pros. Interviews with the newsmakers, sports betting, your phone calls, and more. And now, we're taking the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey.
I love it.
Broadcasting from the Gulf Plus Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And good Friday morning. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. 104.3 right here in Panama City Beach. All of beautiful Bay County and beyond. A little rainy out there this morning. A little storm going on right now. But hey, it's summertime in the Panhandle, and that's pretty much what happens. What do they say? If you don't like the weather, just wait 10 minutes. Although this has been about 20, 25 minutes. So maybe we need to wait a little longer on this one. Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Just search it up, ESPN Northwest Florida. You can watch 3 great shows live every day, Monday through Friday. The Coach James Hale Show from 7 to 9. Inside Drive right here from 11 to 1. And of course, the afternoon underdogs from 4 to 6 p.m. And all your Atlanta Brave coverage. We got a special guest in the studio today. Some of you may remember this fella. Good friend of mine, teacher extraordinaire, bringing the youth up to the high school levels and being very successful. Where do you download the Google Play, or where do you find the ESPN Northwest Florida app?
Oh, boy.
He's back, ladies and gentlemen.
Google Play or Apple Store.
Bingo. What do you got to search up?
104.3.
It's as easy as that. It's easy as how Jay eloquently said it. All you got to do is download our free mobile app inside the Google Play or Apple Store. Make sure you got it downloaded, and then all you got to do is ask Alexa or Siri to open that ESPN Northwest Florida app, and you'll have it streaming right there on your phone or whatever smart device you are using for that app. Last but not least, you can head over to ESPNPC.com. While you're there, search at the top of the page for the Scorpion TV logo. You click on that. Was it Scorpion TV the last time you were in? Okay, yep. So now it's Scorpion TV. You got to watch out for that stinger.
It was elusive at one time.
It was very elusive, but it turned into a scorpion, which stings you with discounts if you use code ESPNNW. It's only going to be $45.08 per month. That's over 5,000 streaming channels on demand, 10,000 movies on demand. All those streaming channels include your pay-per-view, ESPN Plus, Red Zone Channel, NFL Network, all the sports and local news, regional news you'd want to watch as well. So as we approach the start of college football season, you want to make sure you download, sign up for Scorpion TV if you want to save some money and watch every game and event that you would like to watch. Again, ESPNPC.com. Scorpion TV is all you got to sign up for. Also, as we approach the start of college football season, which is now 28 days, 12 hours, 56 minutes, and 57 seconds, and counting, that's still August 23rd, you got to make sure you tune into ESPN Northwest Florida, because we're going to have all the big games coming up this fall, all the big-time college games that you want to listen to. There's nothing better. Obviously, watching it is fun, too, but listening to the commentators is always a great thing on the radio for college and NFL football. Speaking of NFL football, we've got 40 days, 12 hours, 56 minutes, and 30 seconds and counting until that opening kickoff on September 4th, where you're going to see the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles take on each other in that early on NFC matchup. Like I said, Jay Henley is in studio with us today. Jay, how's the summer been going?
It has been hot, Ryan.
Very hot. Very hot and a little bit rainy like it is today, but still getting a lot of those lessons in out there.
Yeah, it's been a good summer. Staying busy with group lessons, with the kids, and private lessons, and trying to move about and get out of town for a little bit, kind of see the world.
Yeah, the world of South Georgia.
Yeah, and whatever. But, it's been a good summer. I'm kind of ready for some football. And
yes, a little cooler temps.
Absolutely.
It's going to be a little while till we get to that, but that's quite all right because each day keeps passing. How'd your night glow golf stuff go?
It's been interesting.
It looked like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's been good. I mean, June was good, and then, July with the weather's been obviously not as great, but we've got our last camp going on right now.
Ooh.
And
not literally right now.
Not right now, but we had our first night last night.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we tried to do it Tuesday night and Wednesday night, but obviously weather didn't help. But the kids, it's been great. Nobody's got hurt.
Hey, if that's a goal, sounds like you've been successful
thus
with
far.
Your goal. Goals and nobody hurt and fun is usually a solid combination when it comes to these kind of things. But good to see you kind of going outside the box and some of this stuff, because in the forefront of golf, it's got to be fun, right?
It does,
and that's what you're doing. Not only teaching the game, but you're making sure it's fun as well.
Yeah.
The last thing you want to do is make it a job for these kids, and then all of a sudden they lose the love of the game, and then they slide right out of that golf game.
That's right. And the traditional 9 a.m. to noon, and I call it traditional, but I mean, how long has it been, 9 a.m. to noon, Monday through Friday, junior golf camp in the summer? I mean, that's just your traditional.
Yeah, it's always been going on.
And definitely this is non-traditional. And I feel like, the participation level's been okay, but it hasn't been like the greatest. But, it's like we talk about it. You got to change people's habits.
Yeah.
And 6 to 9 p.m., it's definitely different.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's different.
No doubt. And and also summertime, you've got basketball camps, baseball camps. You've got so many camps to compete with. So going into that 6 to 9 time frame, obviously, is a certain time where a lot of other camps are going on.
Well, think about this. Really, really think about it. Like, what kid really sleeps till 2, 3 o'clock? Every kid sleeps till 2 o'clock in the summer, it seems like.
Yeah,
I mean,
especially
mostly
the older kids,
the older
teenagers, for sure.
The golf course is wide open at 6:30 in the evening, so it's it's great. It's been great. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Kudos to getting that underway and executing it brilliantly. Hopefully, the weather. Would you have some makeup ones for it, or are you done?
This will be our last week.
Okay.
This will be our last week.
Gotcha. Because, I mean, school literally starts, I know for our kids, it starts on the 6th, but I think the district starts that Friday or
the 11th.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Which I believe that would be the following Monday, right?
Seems to be.
About, yeah, because you go 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. Yes, that Monday, I guess, would be when the district starts back in the saddle. So we are right there approaching the start of school, which means fall sports are getting going, middle school sports are getting going, and a lot of fun to be had, no doubt about that. Jay?
Yes.
A little bit of news out of the movie world today. We've been talking about it a little bit this week, but it has officially been released. It got released at 2 a.m. Central Time this morning. Do you know what that is?
Happy Gilmore 2.
Happy Gilmore 2.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on Happy Gilmore 2? Obviously, you haven't seen it yet, but just kind of the leading up to it kind of thoughts. And are you going to make a point to watch it?
I will. Now, we did lose Chubbs, right?
Yeah.
Chubbs is no longer with us.
Yes.
I think it's going to be okay. Obviously, going into, it's not going to be the best. It's not going to be Happy Gilmore, but 30 years later, really? 30 years
That's
later?
That's wild. 30 years since Happy Gilmore debuted, and it was really his second big-time movie, because Billy Madison was the one right before Happy Gilmore, which was kind of crazy to think about how long ago and how young he was in Billy Madison. But I feel like Happy Gilmore really kind of launched his career as like the goofy hero guy, and now he's obviously one of the biggest stars in film. And to bring Happy Gilmore 2 back, I'm just worried that because the first one was so darn good that there's no way the second one can live up to that first one.
Right.
And you've seen that happen in so many other movies, but I guess we'll see. It came out officially out now on Netflix. If you have Netflix, you can see Happy Gilmore 2.
Are you watching it tonight?
I don't know about tonight. I'm not like dying to watch it, I guess, because what I kind of just said, I don't want to watch it and then be disappointed.
Yeah.
So I'll probably watch it sometime through the weekend.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see. It is officially out now, though, that is for sure. Some brief NFL news coming out of Adam Scheffler this morning. We talked a little bit about Justin Fields and his toe injury yesterday. Well, one day after dislocating his toe, Justin Fields, quarterback for the New York Jets, is indeed back at practice. So a lot of fear. We thought the Jets were going to jet and they were going to have another big-time injury to their, starting quarterback. But looks like he's handled the dislocated toe. He's already back out there practicing with the Jets in the, I believe for them, it's the second day, maybe third day for their practice. Some other news: Browns placed veteran linebacker Jordan Hicks on the reserve retired list. Hicks ends his 10-year NFL career having played 134 games that included 131 starts. Pretty good longevity there, only missing 3 starts in his 10-year career as a linebacker. He had 952 tackles, 51 tackles for loss, 16.5 sacks, 11 fumble recoveries, 6 forced fumbles, and 53 passes defended. Not a bad 10-year career there for the Browns linebacker Jordan Hicks. You excited for football?
I am. Yeah, what? We got preseason
starts
Thursday,
next
right?
Thursday,
Wow.
the 31st.
That's crazy.
31st. The Hall of Fame game, can't know how. And as we mentioned yesterday, Hard Rock Bets, you are allowed. They got a lot of action on these preseason games. Should you bet preseason games? That's completely up to you. It's kind of a crapshoot when it comes to preseason games, kind of like the first week of the season. You just don't really know a whole lot about these guys yet. But right around the corner, looking forward to it. Some fantasy leagues are starting to get kicked back up. With that being said, at 11:20, we'll be joined again. It's been a while since we've been joined by Joe Bond. He's the founder of Fantasy Six-Pack, and he's going to go through the different types of fantasy leagues, and then, of course, giving you some rankings, because as we know, he is the king of rankings, as I think he placed second in the rankings contest this year out of all fantasy football guys. So looking forward to hearing what his rookie rankings are for quarterbacks, wide receivers, running backs, and tight ends. As the drafts get going, it's, depending on the size of your league, you may have to dip into a bunch of those rookie wide receivers or whoever it may be. So he's going to give us all that great information today. Coming up at 11:40, thanks thanks to you, Jay. We'll be joined by Jake Finch, who local legend, racing legend here from Lynn Haven, just made his Xfinity Series debut this past weekend on the what do they call the Dover, the Concrete Mile?
Yeah, the Monster Mile.
Monster Mile.
Yeah,
I knew you'd know.
Or concrete. Yeah,
same time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's made out of concrete. Right?
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Why do some tracks have asphalt? Why do some tracks have concrete?
Oh boy, we're gonna have to ask Jake.
Okay, I'll put that question in the pocket there. We'll pull that one out later. It probably has something to do with the structure of the track.
Yeah, and so when they come out of turn 1 or turn 2 and turn 4, and we'll talk to Jake about it, but they climb 3 stories to go onto the straightaway.
Yeah,
which is odd.
That's kind of
crazy.
nuts. Yeah, 30 feet going up.
Yeah, so I'm sure it probably drops your stuff, or whatever. I don't know.
When you're coming out of it, for sure. Going up, maybe not. But yeah, that's wild. I didn't know that. That's a little fun fact.
But there's a lot of rubber laid on that concrete, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You know what we haven't done in a while?
What?
I might put you on the spot for this, but you're usually good at this kind of stuff. There it is.
Jay's golf tip of the
I feel like I hadn't heard that in a year.
It's been a while.
It has been a while. Obviously, a lot of Fridays I've been out recently, too, with all our family stuff. But, yeah, I hadn't heard that little sound clip in quite some time.
Boy.
What you got for us?
Well, so I am about to have some episodes on YouTube.
Ooh. Nice. It's been a while for that, too.
It has. And so look, if you want to go follow or subscribe, go to YouTube, Jay Henley Golf. There's going to be a bunch of series of stuff coming.
I like that.
So, and there's all this stuff out there. There's so much garbage out there. I mean, Flexion and Supination, Pronation. If I can't spell it, I don't want to know about it.
I get that.
So anyways, we're going to be doing and episode 1's going to be, and I'll just go ahead and give you a little bit of little teaser.
Perfect.
But we're only going to start with getting your hands to the level of your hip on the way back, and you're going to finish with the level of your left hip on the way through.
Yes.
So your hand path is just going to be equal back and 2.
9 to 3.
9 to 3. There you go.
9 to 3. Easy peasy.
And you're going to do that a few hours a week. And then you're going to go to episode 2.
Yep.
And then you'll just have to kind of
progressing,
kind of keep going with that.
Tune in.
But we're starting with kindergarten.
Yeah. Hey. And I've previous to coming down here to Florida, I used to teach a lot of golf as well. And if you can't do 9 to 3, you can't do the full golf swing.
Nope.
So you've got to start with your training wheels before you take them off the bike and really try to speed down the road.
Well, and the thing I've noticed with teaching a lot of beginners just in the last few years is when you tell them to do that drill, they do it going back to their hip.
Yeah.
But they always take their arms all the way and hands up to their shoulder on the way through.
Yep.
And it's just all arms. So, anyways.
Well, and fair to say, too, that anytime you're trying to make some progress or improve your swing or make a small change, it has to feel like a massive exaggeration because you it's only feel. You're not looking at what you're doing. You're feeling what you're doing, and it's just wild with the golf swing. You want to make a small change to something, it's got to feel like you're doing the polar opposite. I don't know why it's like that, but it certainly is like that. But, yeah, that 9 to 3, that's your impact area.
It is.
Everything else is just getting yourself in the right position and creating a little more speed by making your arc wider and longer.
Yeah.
But the first move in a golf swing, obviously your grip aim setup is key too, but that first move is just pulling the club back, not with your wrists, not breaking down, just taking that club straight back like you're trying to shake somebody's hand
that's
standing perpendicular to you on your target line.
If you're losing to your friends at Top Golf Weekly, I would say if you go and watch the first 3 to 4 episodes of what's on my YouTube channel, I honestly feel like you'll beat your friends. 4 weeks in.
I certainly agree. I'm excited to check out some of these episodes. That's for sure. We'll help push the Jay Henley Golf YouTube channel because I know it's been a little while since you jumped back into that game. But you do a good job of supporting all of your students as well. I know a lot of your students have had some serious success. I know Cade Denicky had a great tournament this past week as well. I think he shot, 3 under par in 2 rounds?
2 under,
200 and 1 under.
Bayou.
Yeah.
That is strong.
That's not an easy golf course, but he'll be a sophomore at Mosley. That's wild.
Yeah,
that's wild. That's a name to pay attention to. Cause
there's a lot of talent in this area. I mean, I'm telling you, man, we've seen it, right?
Yep,
we
absolutely.
have seen it, and it's amazing to see the talent in the last few years progress. And this fall in high school, there's going to be some 32, 33s shot.
That'll be exciting.
Yeah, there will be.
You leading the charge at the Marlins facility?
I'm going to go ahead and say it right now.
Not to put you on the spot, but
I know.
we did.
I have passed the torch. I've got a lot going on.
Yeah,
and,
you're busy.
And I've passed it to Luke Logan, who is the assistant out at Bay Point.
Okay.
Luke's 27 years old. He's from Las Vegas. He's been here a couple years. Great player. So he's going to take on the head coach job for Arnold this year.
Very cool. Very cool.
But there's a lot of excitement in the high school golf stuff right now.
Yeah.
And there's more to come. I'm excited to see 4 or 5 years from now what the high school golf is going to be like.
Well, and that's what we always commend you for too. You kind of, I don't want to say single-handedly, but I would say 75-80% of it, you've kind of, the camps, the individual lessons, the on-course lessons, the competitions you do out there, which are so good, has really, you're seeing it now come to fruition in the high school level, which is what we always talk about with these youth sports across the board. We've got to keep those pipelines up into high school on every level, continuing to go. And obviously, kudos to you for doing such a great job in the golf world. And
thank you, Ron.
Like you just said, looking forward to seeing how that continues as some of your younger guys start to get a little bit older, a little closer to middle school, and then all of a sudden making that way into high school, trying out for their golf team. Because again, it's not like there's 40 kids trying out for these golf teams, which is unfortunate because you'd love to see more kids trying out for it. But it's I don't want to say the competition's not great, but I feel like if you want to play golf in high school and you can play pretty okay-ish, you can make the team. Is that fair to say?
It is. Yeah. It is. But, I'm going to give you props for, obviously years of being at Bay Point and having the open mind to allow kids to come out there. And, and Gavin's doing a good job with that, too, as far as just, having that open mind of this is the future of the game.
Yeah.
And we can't shut that out, because if we do, we'll see the effects of it, not now, but we'll see the effects of it 10 years from now.
Yeah, in the business side of it as well.
Yeah.
Because, you need future golfers to play the game of golf. All the members and the people playing a good bit of golf right now, who's going to be doing that in 20 years? And it's got to be the youth, because... And I feel like there's a little gap, too, with, people in their... Well, actually, no, I take that back, because there's a lot of the social media influencers and stuff like that I think are really speaking to a lot of those 20-year-olds that are, finding out how fun golf is.
That's right.
But a huge point with golf, it's a hell of a lot easier to pick up golf when you're 8 years old than it is when you're 28 years old. Because
yes, sir.
As you get older, the muscle memory doesn't get quite as good, and you got to spend a lot more time trying to ingrain stuff, and just being able to control your muscles just isn't as easy as you become a late adult. Obviously, a young adult still got some opportunity, but I encourage you to go visit Jay out there at Bay Point and get your kid involved in a wonderful game that not only teaches you how to play golf, but teaches you how to deal with the breaks in life that you're going to get, because you're going to get good breaks and bad breaks, and how you deal with those breaks is how you proceed forward in life or the game of golf.
Speak the truth, Ryan.
Amen. 11:20 here in just a second. We got Joe Bond jumping on with us. Looking forward to talking to him. It's been just a little while since we had old Joe on the show, but I'm looking forward to hearing his rookie rankings. Pay attention to some of these names. You may not be thinking of them going into your drafts, but after this segment, you may hear some new names that you can use to win your fantasy football league. You guys are listening to The Inside Drive. Jay Henley in studio. Bone Crusher behind the glass. Joe Bond coming up next.
Have you ever wanted to reach out and smack someone?
Sit your ass down and shut up!
Call or text the Afternoon Underdogs on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida with your rants, hot takes, picks, and takedowns.
This is unacceptable at the University of Alabama!
This should go 7 games. You've got to have a bad game at some point.
The Red 70s studio line, 850-215-6290. ESPN Northwest Florida. Get in the game.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Friday. Likely thunderstorms and some clouds this afternoon and evening with a moderate breeze around 13 miles per hour out of the south, and look for the high to be 86. Tonight, there will be partly cloudy skies with the temperature reaching 80. A mixture of mostly sunshine and a likelihood of thunderstorms tomorrow with a high of 87. This weather is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Show off your style and drive away in a new 2025 Kia K4 or K5 from Bill Bird Kia. The 2025 K4 delivers sleek design, smart safety features, and an impressive fuel efficiency. Are you looking for something with a little more space and a confident sporty appeal? The 2025 Kia K5 delivering a sleek design, smooth ride, and advanced driver's assistant features, all designed to keep you safe and comfortable on every drive. Now offering 2.9% APR for up to 48 months on the purchase of a new 2025 Kia K4 or K5. Bill Bird Kia is the home of that 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at Bill Bird Kia, PanamaCity.com. Discover what drives you at Bill Bird Kia.
Offer from Kia Finance America for the purchase of a new 2025 Kia K4 or K5 with $2,209 per $1,000 financed in 48 months. Only limited. Cannot be combined with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 8/4/25.
Now back to the Inside Drive, live and local from the Gulf Plus studios. For the most complete NFL coverage.
This team is not fed enough. They're not even good. We're going to be here all day. I like this kind of party, baby.
It's the Inside Drive on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. 104.3 here in Panama City Beach, all the way across Bay County, including the surrounding counties as well. It's almost like we got the whole band back together here. We got Jay sitting across from me, and we got my good friend Joe Bond on the line. He's the founder of Fantasy Six Pack, and always right there near the top of the big fantasy rankings contest. So if there's one guy you want to trust when it's picking your players for each week, whether it's DFS, whether it's your season-long fantasy, and of course there's a lot of different types of leagues to do as well, which we'll talk about here in a second. But we got Joe on the line. Jay across from me. Joe, how you doing today?
Hey, good. How are you guys doing?
Doing wonderful. Great to hear your voice back here on the Inside Drive. Football season right around the corner. September 4th, what did I say, Jay? 41 days away till the opening kickoff. 40 days until the opening kickoff between Dallas and Philadelphia. Joe, we'll dive right into it. Obviously, the traditional fantasy league is what most people have been playing for a long, long time. But there's a few other different types of leagues that people can dive into, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's, typically, your typical redraft leagues, what you call them, your yearly leagues, and then Dynasty, and there's Best Ball, and of course you mentioned DFS. There's all sorts of stuff out there. IDP, we do a lot of good content over there over Fantasy Six Pack for IDP leagues, individual defensive players. There's Vampire leagues. There's
all right, you got to explain a Vampire league to me.
Oh my gosh, if I can remember, we had a guy who wrote about him for a little while. But basically, I think it's when you beat the team that you're playing that week, you get to steal a player off their roster.
That's fun.
Something like that. It's something along those lines. And then there's Guillotine, where like if you lose, if you're the lowest scoring team that week, you are out, and all of your players go on waivers. So they just become free for all for the whole league. It's madness. And so
is it kind of survival of the fittest then at that point? Like whoever survives all the wins is the champion, or how does that work?
Yeah, it's usually, so it's just like it just ends up being points based. There's no win-loss records.
Gotcha.
And then so it usually ends up being if you have 12 teams. It's usually a larger league because you want to make it last as long as possible. So it'll usually be like a 16-team league, and you'll go 15 weeks, 16 weeks, whatever it is. So there's one left. It's pretty wild. I've done them a couple different times. It's fun, but if you lose like the first and second week, you're like, well, now what?
Yeah, absolutely.
You're done.
Yeah. I'm sure they probably start them throughout the season too, I would imagine, just because, once that happens, you're out and you're looking to do something else or jump back into something else. Yeah. So, well, we're going to talk about regular let me ask you this first. What's your favorite type of fantasy league? Just the normal redraft league, or, do you like the keeper leagues? We do, I started this a long time ago. Jay's in it as well. We do a Bay Point league, and it's been a keeper league, which has been a lot of fun because it makes you just at least think about where you picked that player in the previous year's draft, and you can be a little strategic when it comes to who you want to pick up by taking that keeper.
Yeah, I'm just a traditionalist. I like the typical redraft league, more of a standard format. I do kind of favor not dealing with kickers and defenses. I get the reason for having a lot of those guys, but for me, I'm just they're more of a hassle than an advantage. It's just like you're just churning roster spots all the time, and it kind of takes away from a positional player. I'd rather have on my bench, where I got to worry about defenses, and then the bye weeks come, and if I have, say you have the Ravens defense, I don't want to drop the Ravens defense, but I don't want to roster two defenses, so you just get kind of stuck. So that's kind of where I'm at with my format of choice.
Yes. No, I get it. I mean, because most people just will switch. I'm guilty of that. I'll pick a new defense up every week, swapping it out every week. And,
pretty much.
Yeah. And it's, not as exciting as if you had to be a little more creative with your wide receivers, running backs, tight ends, etc. Speaking of those positions, obviously you're the rankings guru. What'd you finish second last year? I can't remember. I don't want to discredit you if it wasn't first. Or if it was first.
I was number 2 overall. It was the closest finish for number 1 and number 2 in the Fantasy Pros Accuracy Challenge history. So
wow, part of a historic season.
Disappointing to be number 2, but and because it was that close, it's like, yeah. But hopefully one day I'll get there. Hopefully it's this year.
Yeah, there you go. When do you have to submit all your stuff?
So that's the weekly. That was the in season.
Right. So you do it each week.
And so that's each week. You have to have your players in just by lock of the first game. Obviously the Thursday game, and then if there's Saturday games, later in the year, you've got to have them in by those days for those individual games. And then the season, the draft rankings will just be locked by, I believe they make you lock those by the start of the first game of the season. So that first Thursday game they want them in by then.
Gotcha. So there's a weekly one, and there's also a season long where you submit it for the start of the season and then let it run all the way through. Gotcha.
Yeah, and actually, I think I finished 23rd last year in that out of 215. But they do a 3-year average as well. Over the last 3 years, I'm number 3 overall.
Nice. That's awesome, man. Congratulations on
Thank you.
that. Speaking of rankings, and speaking of rankings that are hard to figure out, let's dive into some of these rookie rankings. Obviously, the year's draft, a lot of wide receivers, a lot of running backs, maybe not the best quarterback class, but obviously still some rookie quarterbacks that are obviously going to be starting and trying to help lead some teams that aren't very good. One of those obviously being Cam Ward, Tyler Shuck, if he gets the nod, although Spencer Rattler was taking the first team reps so far for the Saints training camp. Let's start with wide receivers. I feel like that group's a little bit bigger of the rookies. Yeah, we can dive into that. So
we talking like dynasty rookies, like, or just for this year only?
Let's just go for this year and the format you like to play.
Yeah, so when I'm looking at the rookies here, I'll be honest with you, I don't love a lot of the landing spots for the receivers this year. As talented as this group is, you know, we've got McMillan, there's obviously Travis Hunter, who gets in the mix, Ibuka. These guys all landed in kind of some rough spots.
Yeah.
McMillan probably in the best spot as far as like immediate playing time, but it's Carolina, and we know that offense isn't going to be great. Hopefully we can get the offense that we saw at the very end there of last year.
More protection for Bryce, let him do his thing.
Yeah, and hopefully that can carry over into this year. Bryce really finished strong last year. That's the only hope we have, but we haven't seen him do that consistently for a whole year, so that's risky to predict. As far as Ibuka, like, you know, he's behind Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, if he can get on the field. McMillan is there. I do think he can supplant McMillan pretty easily in the pecking order. But if Godwin and Evans are healthy, you know those two are just going to see the large bulk of the targets. And then, of course, you mix in Rashad White and Bucky Irving, who see plenty of passes go the way, and Kate Otten. So there's just a lot there.
True.
Luther Burden, I like the talent there, but it's kind of the same thing. It's where does he go? They've got DJ Moore, they've got Odunze, they've got Cole Kmet. They brought in, you know, Loveland, who is a tight end that everybody likes. So there's just, as much as I like the class, and I think for Dynasty, there's a lot to really look forward to with this class. It's hard to predict and project them to do really, really well this year. Travis Hunter, though, is kind of a weird case, too, because he's super talented. We know that, and he can play both sides of the ball. It's really hard to project how much is he going to play offensively and how much is he going to play defensively. If he does kind of play both ways, how is it going to affect his offensive production, which is what we mostly care for fantasy.
Absolutely.
And obviously they've got Brian Thomas Jr. there, who is a bona fide stud. You know, we saw that last year. So, again, just a lot of question marks with this class. Somebody's going to come. Somebody will perform like top 10, I guarantee, almost guarantee it. Like, they are that talented. It's just going to happen. It's just guessing which one is really tough.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that's the thing with rookies. Like, a lot of times you don't just burst onto the scene. Something has to happen for you. What do you think about Golden being in Green Bay with some of the injuries that have obviously transpired in Green Bay?
Yeah, he's one that if he were to lead the team in receptions, I would not be surprised. He's also, if he was like fifth in reception, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yes.
I mean, that's kind of how
low floor,
kind of how Green Bay rolls, right?
Yeah.
They used multiple targets throughout the entire season. They mix and match all the time. You know, they've still got Jaden Reed. They've still got the Tavian Wicks. They've still got blanking on his name right now, but
I'm blanking right there with you.
I know. Dobbs.
Romeo, yes.
Yeah, Romeo Dobbs. So, like, they've still got all of these guys. Now, they've all, outside of Reed 2 seasons ago, when it was sort of a touchdown spike for his production, they've all sort of underwhelmed. And so they went out and got Matthew Golden, who is very talented in his own right. But, again, very crowded room there. Can he distance himself? Can he separate himself and be the alpha in that room? It's, you know, we have no idea. And is Green Bay going to run an offense?
Yeah, that's just, that is the way that he needs it to be, especially when you got Josh Jacobs now, who obviously had a great year last year.
Yeah, exactly. But I do like him, talented. Again, Dynasty all in. Like, I love him, but redraft this year, it's really hard to project him being, you know, a guy that you're going to be able to count on right away.
I honestly think he might be one of the best upsides in the rookie class. They've got him listed right now as the #1 wide receiver, and I guess that would be probably the Y position, if I had guessed that correctly, with Jaden Reed, Matthew Golden, and then Romeo Doubs being their 3 starting wide receivers. Now, obviously, that could change after we get through training camp and all that stuff, but on the running back side of things, maybe a little different, and that's where I feel like the transition from college running backs to NFL running backs isn't as difficult as wide receivers from college to NFL, and I think you got a lot of guys that are going to make a immediate impact. So I think, if I'm thinking correctly, these a lot of these guys are guys that you want to kind of stow away, and you might be able to get in some later rounds and stuff like that. But let's dive into this pretty exciting running back class.
Yeah, I mean, you've obviously got to start with Janty, who landed in Vegas, and it is mediocre as that offense is as a whole. They did get a pretty large quarterback upgrade. As much as Geno Smith is not great, it's way better than what they had last year.
Yes,
still.
absolutely.
So that's only going to help, right? Brock Bowers, as we saw, is super talented. Bringing in Janty, I cannot fathom a world where he does not near 300 touches this year.
Yeah.
And so that immediately puts him in RB1 conversation.
Yeah.
Not
just
RB1.
rookies, the entire running back picks.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I would project him as the RB1. Obviously, Bijan, Saquon, Gibbs, those guys, I would put
Healthy
in
McCaffrey this year for now.
Yeah. I would put them in a tier above him. But Janty is probably one of the safest rookie running backs coming out that I can think of in quite some time. I know, we put Saquon in that conversation when he first came out, and he did really well, kind of the same way, right?
Yep.
It was, who else are they going to give it the ball to? And so that's what you got to look at when you get these rookie running backs. The rest of the class, kind of similar to the receivers, unfortunately. They all got put in really crowded rooms. Hampton, I like a lot, and maybe it worked out for him at the end because Dobbins went out or Najee Harris went out and did what he did to his eye. So maybe Hampton's going to just take it and run with it this in camp right now with Harris not being able to practice, and we still don't know when he's going to get back on the field. But I think if Harris does end up playing from day one, we're going to see a pretty healthy split from that. Hampton is by far the more explosive running back between the two, but Harris is, they brought him in for a reason. He's a really good running back in his own right, and veteran presence. They can lean on him when they need to. I think you're going to see a good 1-2 punch out of these guys, and maybe later on in the year is when you see Hampton kind of take over, more and more and more because he's younger, fresher legs type of thing.
Yep.
Trevion Henderson, another guy who I really like a lot as far as talent. Landing spot's a little weird. They still have Stevenson, and I know Stevenson had a bad year in 2024. But I'm not just tossing Stevenson aside. I still think he's talented. I still think he's going to be involved in our offense. I would expect maybe a 60-40 split with Henderson and Stevenson. But again, it's not like the Janty where you're expecting like 70, if not more percent of the workload to go to Janty in that role. Just rifling through them real quick. Caleb Johnson, RJ Harvey, I'll skip Junkins for a minute. Scatterbo, those guys are good, but again, falling into crowded rooms. Johnson's got Warren. RJ Harvey has Dobbins to contend with. Scatterbo has Tyrone Tracy. And then Junkins, who probably was in one of the better landing spots going to Cleveland without Chubb being there, and I know they drafted Dylan Sampson as well, but Junkins was far and away like the guy there. Yep. And everybody thought, right? I know they had Jerome Ford, but Ford's just a guy, in my opinion. He's easily replaceable. Junkins was far more talented, but with all the legal issues, he hadn't signed his contract yet before those came out.
Yep.
And now the Browns are like, you go figure that out, then come back. And that's bad, because if he had signed a contract, they're like, no, you're playing. We're going to figure this out. And we know what happens with these things, right? The legal process takes forever. I wouldn't get suspended this year. But now without a contract, the Browns can just say, we don't need, we're not on the hook to pay you.
Absolutely.
Figure it out later. And they've already dealt with Watson and stuff like that. So I get it. They're just being like, go away for now. And rightfully so.
Hey, Joe, we're running up against the break, so obviously I know we've got a couple weeks before the next time we talk, but we can dive into outside of the rookie rankings when we get back. I appreciate you jumping on with us. I hope you have a great weekend, great rest of your day, and I appreciate you coming on again.
All right, man. Thank you, guys, and have a good one.
Absolutely. We are going to take a quick break. When we get back, we're going to be joined by Jake Finch, phenom NASCAR driver. Looking to talk to him with Jay as well. You're listening to The Inside Drive. We'll be right back.
It's here. The 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida app version 2.0. Now featuring ultra high fidelity. You'll feel like you're in the game. Plus more opportunities to win weekly prizes from local businesses when you click it to win it. Download the 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida app today at Google Play or the Apple Store.
There's a reason we call it the big one, because the biggest deals of the year are happening now at Panama City Toyota. And you can get 3.99% APR on the award-winning Camry, plus 90 days until you make your first payment, and 3.99% on the new RAV4, plus 90 days until you make your first payment. Get 2.99% on the Bolt Tacoma, or take the lead and get 1.99% on the powerful Tundra. The big one. Right now at Panama City Toyota.
Offers expire August 4th. For details, visit PanamaCityToyota.com.
With over 65 years of combined experience, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to help you take your collection to the next level. They carry all the new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia, and supplies. New and vintage cards and Pokemon. They sell and trade cards and are always looking to buy. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards is open 7 days a week at 752 West 23rd Street, down from Academy Sports. It can always be reached at InstantReplaySportsCards.com.
Are you looking for a place to take a leak? Do you have a truck, tractor, or other hydraulic equipment leaking or not performing as it should? At Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, we can get you back to work. Do you have a busted or leaking hose, hydraulic cylinder or pump needing repair? If competitive pricing and a quick turnaround are what matter to your business, come see us at Reliable Hydraulic Solutions. Or you can give us a call at 850-326-3000. Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, 6840 Highway 77 in Southport. The best place in town to take a leak.
Broadcasting from the Gulf Plus Studios, it's the Inside Drive. Spreads, picks, and parlays. Get the breaking news, insider angles, and expertise so you can run your game.
I told y'all to run that.
And now the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey, ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. You're listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Excited about our next guest, local legend, Jay. I appreciate you bringing him into studio with you. You come back and look, you bring local celebrities in with you because you are indeed a local celebrity. And I'm talking about Jake Finch, racing now the number 17 car for Hendrick Motorsports. Jake, thanks for coming in today.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me.
And now I see why the connection there, the two Georges.
Go Dogs.
Yeah, go Dogs indeed. But we'll start because I know we don't have a long segment here in this one before we got to get to the top of the break. What got you into racing?
Yeah, really just my dad. You know, he had a race team growing up with Phoenix Racing and the Cup Series and Xfinity as well. So really just being around him and you know, hearing all the stories around the house all the time and being super involved with it in that case. And then yeah, that's pretty much it. Just started racing go-karts and then eventually worked my way up into where I am now.
Absolutely. And how often is it dad that, and no, this is no slight to moms or anything like that, but my dad got me into golf. I'm sure your dad got you into golf.
Yeah.
Your dad obviously was a big-time racer. And, I don't know if you had a choice or not. That's probably not fair to say, but, just being around it so much, it just kind of becomes part of your DNA, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like the same thing. I think it's the same thing with girls. I think their parents were involved in like cheer or volleyball or soccer or whatever it was. I think it's just kind of the same deal. But yeah, and I mean, for me, it was definitely a choice. My dad didn't want me to race. I was always playing baseball growing up. Yeah. So it was kind of my decision, and then he just obviously supported me on it, and that's how it went, really.
The rest is history, as they say. When did you realize that you were really, really good at racing? I know it's kind of
I don't know. I guess I'm still searching.
Obviously, you're doing pretty well. So
I don't know. I think when you're really young and you start running bigger races and you start winning or running really good and putting yourself in good positions, and then start progressing, and when you start winning a lot and you start running good, especially against really good competition, you start realizing, all right, I might not be too bad at this. I think it's the same thing with really any other sport, but I feel like you'll never feel like you're as good as you need to be.
Yeah, because you got to keep pushing 1% better every day.
Right when you think you're good enough is when you suck.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. You can never get complacent in any type of sport. That's for sure.
Or business.
Yes. Or business. That's what makes him fall. Go ahead, Jay.
I was just going to ask him how his golf game was.
There you go. Oh man, we were just talking about that. I'm struggling a little bit right now. I'm not bad. I think I got it down to like a 7.4, which I feel like it's not bad for how busy we are with racing. I only get to play every once in a while, every few days or something. But my consistency is terrible. But I feel like I have sparks of Tiger every once in a while. I'll do really cool stuff, and I'm like, man, I'm the greatest ever. And then I'm like, I don't know if I should sell my clubs on Marketplace.
It's a humbling
eBay,
game, for sure.
Whatever it is. Yeah. Sure. So I gotta figure it out.
Loaded question. What's more difficult? Obviously, you're a racer, so that's probably easier. But golf is just such a quirky sport, and it's always up for debate. Like people are like baseball's harder, golf's harder, and it kind of goes back and forth.
I'm gonna have a hot take here.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah. I think every ball sport is hard. But I think racing is like underappreciated about how hard it is.
Yeah.
Because with golf, I suck, right? But I can go buy a golf simulator, or I can go to the range or get a country club membership, and I can hire Jay to help me.
Yeah.
And we go out there every day. I could go out there every day from, the start of the morning until the end of the day, and I could hit golf balls all day until I, start improving. In racing, there's so many more variables, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like in ball sports, like it's up to you of how good you want to just.
And you can practice as much as you want.
Yeah, but you also, you have talent. Like I'm not taking that away from anybody. And I'm not saying that it's not hard or anything like that. But with racing, I would say they're all hard, and golf is by far the hardest sport when it comes to, there's so many variables with that too. But like for me, I think racing's super hard just because you can't really practice it.
Yeah.
Like, and it depends. I could lead every lap of the race, and I come in for a pit stop, and my guy misses 4 lug nuts, and my tire falls off, and I hit the fence and wreck. And then you just rememred that I wreck. It didn't matter how good I'm doing. There's just so many variables, or my engine could blow up, and I don't win that race, or if it's kind of like
a lot of things outside of your control.
Yeah, exactly, and that's kind of what makes it so hard. And I would say the product of the car is a huge thing. Like if you could be Kyle Larson, and he was at Ganassi and did a really good job and won a few races. He won 2 races a year, I think was the most he won. And then he gets in a Hendrick car and wins 11 races in the championship. Same thing in Formula One, Max Verstappen with Red Bull, or, there's so many other variables that go into it. And that's one thing I like about golf is like, man, this is up to my sake of how good I want to,
what you put into it is what you're going to get out of it.
But it's just hard in racing to do that. And also there's so many people in racing that are really good drivers and just will never make it because they don't have funding or they don't have the support to get to it.
Well, let's talk about the preparation up to Dover last weekend, because I know there was some many trips to Charlotte.
Yeah.
Right. What was all the preparation like, and when was it when you finally figured out you were at the big show? Was it you driving into Dover? Was it the green flag, the first lap, or because that's big stuff, man. I mean, Xfinity's big.
Yeah,
it's town
really
is proud of you for sure.
I appreciate it. Yeah, no, it was really cool. I mean, there was a lot of hard work. It was really cool just knowing, like, I knew for probably 6 or 7 months that I was going to do it. I had the date on the whiteboard in the gym, kind of just a motivation factor. But yeah, it was nice to every day have something to, work towards and know that, all right, this is coming. And I was telling somebody the other day, it's like, man, I was in December. It's like, man, I got July, and then it gets July. I'm like, man, I got 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like it came up fast. But I think just going up to Charlotte a lot, trying to stay on my routine. It's hard, when you do something here every day and I'm at home, it's nice to, be able to do the same thing. I can go eat at the restaurants I want to eat at. Then I go to Charlotte. I went there 2 weeks before, and I came home for a few days, and then went Monday, the week of Dover, and just pit practice. I was really tuned in to try to make sure I knew what to do on pit stops and everything like that, and sim practice. And I think one thing I took a lot of focus towards was trying to just get to know the team very well, and I worked really hard to try to build a relationship with those guys, because I feel like it's the same thing with anything. Like, if you have a good relationship with a coach, they're going to want to help you more. Same thing in racing. Like, I feel like if my tire changers appreciate me and know that I'm working hard too, and see that I care about them and they're not just a number on the roster to me, then they might work extra hard to change my tires, and that benefits me too. And not doing it in just a beneficiary way, but trying to build a relationship with those guys. And that was one of my focuses, and trying to just learn as much as I could. I think the biggest realization, to answer the second half of that question, is just realizing when I got there and pulled into the gate at Hendrick, like, they call it a campus there. It's not a race shop. Like, there's 600 employees. It's unbelievable. Wow. Yeah, like, they have a lake at the thing. Like, people drive golf carts to go from one end of the campus to the other one. Like, it's unbelievable. Just looking around and seeing that. They have, a ploy for everything that you would ever think of. And then just going in there and being able to access the resources was the biggest thing. Like, the same thing you go to if you're on the PJ Tour, and your clubs are going to be a little bit better because you just have so much more resources and so many. Like, when I did my seat fit, there were 16 people around the car trying to make sure everything was good in the car, and I could do 0.5 millimeter adjustments on the pedals and stuff. And I'm like, man, they're like, what do you want? I'm like, I don't know. Yeah. I've never been able to change that.
Right.
But I appreciate it.
Right.
And that was really the biggest thing, is that was the realization for me. It was like, man. And then, you realize, like, hey, these are all normal guys too, and I think the biggest thing was just in competition meetings and stuff like that with those guys, I'm like, man, I don't, what am I doing here? You know what I mean? It's like, I feel like the same way with, like, if those 20-year-olds and stuff that are in the NFL or whatever, and their quarterback's Aaron Rodgers, you're like, there has to be some realization, like, man, this is crazy. Like, I had a comp meeting the other day this Monday, it was, and I was in a meeting, and it was me, Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, Alex Bowman, William Byron, Chad Canals, and I was like,
you're like, all right,
yeah. Don't know what you guys care about me, but this is what I did this weekend, and it's just, then you have to realize, all right, it's a business, this is my job, but it's just crazy. I think that was the biggest realization, is like, man, this is out of my pay grade, it's just wild. So it was.
But were there butterflies, on that first lap?
So I struggle with nerves pretty bad with racing. Sometimes I get nervous, because I want to do so good, and I care about my performance and stuff like that. But when the helmet goes on, it all goes away, But it wasn't as bad. I thought I was going to be throwing up before the race, like, bad deal. Like, because I've had, moments like that before where I was just super nervous, but it actually wasn't bad at all. I wasn't really nervous, and I was just, Kirby Smart had a good thing about it. He was like, if you have appreciation and gratitude towards the agenda, then you won't be nervous. You know what I mean? You just appreciate what's going on. And for me, I think the biggest thing that helped me was, man, no matter what happens today, if I wreck or if I run really good or if I run really bad, this is such a cool opportunity either way to be able to drive for Hendrick Motorsports. It's kind of like the same thing for the Yankees. It's like, if you played for the Yankees, like, man, this is just really cool to, I could say that for the rest of my life that I did that, you know? So that's kind of what I did was like, hey, man, just go out there and I know I have the ability to do it or I wouldn't be in this situation. You know, if Mr. H didn't believe, like he doesn't want me to embarrass him as much as he doesn't. I don't want to embarrass myself. You know, if I go out there and spin out and wreck the whole field in the first lap, he'd be like, man, what have I done? You know? So, I had to give myself a little bit of a pat on the back and be like, all right, you can do this and just go out there and do it. And also, like I said, with the resources that they had, I've never been so prepared for a race going into a race than I was that weekend. You know, I wish I could have, kept going, and we didn't have the rain delay, but I was just, all right, this is what I'm going to do. And I knew exactly what I was going to do. And it's like going to a golf course and you know exactly what shot you're going to hit on each shot. Yeah. It was like, you feel a lot more comfortable than if you just throw you out there on hole 10. Yeah. You're like, all right, go.
Yeah.
You know?
Preparation, all that stuff, I mean, is massive in any level. Like you said, in business too, you have to be prepared. You got to know that you have the tools, you know what you're doing, and you can be successful.
I think the biggest thing too with that was when you get there, I didn't realize it was really an eye-opening thing when I sat down and we started talking about it. I'm like, man, I got to know a lot more stuff than normal, you know, like in a short track race, I just show up, get in the car, and like you don't really think about much. You're like, all right, we're gonna get tires on that 50, and we got 2 minutes to change it, and whatever. And if I get a restart, I'm just gonna do this. But you get there, and you got pit road speed, and then you got they're so detail oriented. At practice, we're gonna run X amount of laps. You're gonna do this. You're gonna do this. We're gonna come in and do this. I'm like, man, it's the same thing when you watch. I just didn't realize how prepared everybody was. Yeah. It's the same thing when you watch an NFL quarterback. You know how much stuff that NFL quarterback knows about that other team and what schemes they have. People, that's my biggest pet peeve is when people are like, man, that guy sucks. Like that guy
put yourself in those shoes.
Really good. Yep. If he's on NFL or if he's in, like even Cup guys in NASCAR, a lot of people talk crap about those guys. I'm like, that guy is really good. Right. He might suck compared to the other guys in Cup, but he's a lot better than you are. Right. This guy, I forgot who it was, but he played for the Chicago Bulls, I think, or something like that, or played for the Heat or something. And he was a 6'8" guy, and he averaged like 5 points a game or something. He goes, I'm closer to LeBron than you are to me.
Yeah, I mean, that's 100% true.
That's right.
It's 100% true.
So that bothers me when people talk about pro golfers and they suck. I'm like, that guy would go out and destroy everybody on a normal, normal field. So
I'm with you.
Jake, you want to hang out you got some time, maybe hang out for a little bit in this next segment, because that was just way too quick, and I want to talk a lot more about this, because it's pretty awesome having you in studio. We got to take a quick break. We'll keep Jake Finch in here with us, local legend right here from Lynn Haven, Florida, now driving the 17 car for Hendricks Motorsports. You're listening to Inside Drive. We'll be right back.
We got to get that out of there.
ESPN Northwest Florida. We're taking the Inside Drive.
This is from Fox 13 down there in Tampa. Florida man accused of having meth taking Key West Conch Tour train for a birthday joyride on the 4th of July. Key West, Florida. Florida man spent his birthday behind bars after he told the police he borrowed the sightseeing trolley down in Key West.
Join Ryan Mulvey.
Thank you very little.
Middays 11 to 1 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Friday. Likely thunderstorms and some clouds this afternoon and evening with a moderate breeze around 13 miles per hour out of the south, and look for the high to be 86. Tonight, there will be partly cloudy skies with the temperature reaching 80. A mixture of mostly sunshine and a likelihood of thunderstorms tomorrow with a high of 87. This weather is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Show off your style and drive away in a new 2025 Kia K4 or K5 from Bill Bird Kia. The 2025 K4 delivers sleek design, smart safety features, and an impressive fuel efficiency. Are you looking for something with a little more space and a confident, sporty appeal? The 2025 Kia K5 delivering a sleek design, smooth ride, and advanced driver's assistant features, all designed to keep you safe and comfortable on every drive. Now offering 2.9% APR for up to 48 months on the purchase of a new 2025 Kia K4 or K5. Bill Bird Kia is the home of that 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at Bill Bird Kia, PanamaCity.com. Discover what drives you at Bill Bird Kia.
Offer from Kia Finance America for the purchase of a new 2025 Kia K4 or K5 with $2209 per $1,000 financed in 48 months. Quality limited. Cannot be combined with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 8/4/25.
Now back to the Inside Drive, live and local from the Gulf Plus studios. And now, the afternoon delight debrief with the three degenerates from the Inside Drive.
Afternoon delight.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida, 104.3 here in Panama City and Panama City Beach and all beautiful Bay County and beyond. We are hanging out with Jake Finch, number 17 car now with Hendrick Motorsports. Jake, quick question, because this is non-race related. What made you want to start playing golf, or have you always been playing golf for a long time and just decided to kind of take it to the next step?
I just started like a few years ago.
And you're a 7.4 already?
Yeah, I think I started like junior year of high school. I really started like playing like senior year of high school. But no, I've always played baseball. And I never played golf because of baseball. Yeah. But then, obviously stopped playing baseball and started playing golf more. But yeah, I'm like really bad at it when it comes to like other sports. Is like if I go out in any sport and suck, I will play that sport until the lights come off, until I'm like halfway decent at it, because I'm never going to be the last pick. You know what I mean?
Yep,
like
I got you.
I just I don't want to go out in any sport and just completely embarrass myself, because like we said in the last segment, like it's up to your own mind to go out there and get better at something. So I just started as a hobby. I wanted to just get better at it, and then also people that like were super unathletic and like just. I would beat them really bad in other sports, would destroy me in golf. Yeah. I was like, man, this is going to stop, so that's pretty much why.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, obviously,
I fell in love with the hardness of it.
Of course, and it's born from competition. Do you see any parallels between racing and golf when it comes to those two sports?
Yeah, I think golf has helped me a lot with like the mental side of everything. I think it's the hardest, like you said in the last segment, like, golf is so hard, man. And it's just you versus the golf course, and your own
and your
ability.
Mind, Yep.
So I think it's just helped me a lot with, I've never gotten so mad at a sport than I have golf. Yeah. It is the most mind-grueling, like, mad thing I've ever done. I've broken too many clubs, like I just can't. It's just so frustrating because I'm like, man, I know I can do this.
Yes.
Why can't I do it more than once?
Yep.
Well, it kind of like in racing though, when you get to the second or third lap, you feel the handle of the car and you're like, I'm unbeatable tonight. Yeah. Have you ever, I'm sure you've had that, right? Where you feel unbeatable.
There's sometimes like, man, I just hope I don't screw this up,
because the car's running. The car's good.
Yeah. But it's just like in golf, I think that's what I use it for the most, is just working on my mind and trying to get better mentally. But yeah, that's pretty. I use it for that, and also same thing. Like I have my pilot's license and I fly a lot. But I like golf too, because you can kind of, I feel like it just takes you to a different world.
Yeah, it's like a break from reality.
You can just go out there and like, man, you don't care what's going on.
Like flying too, right?
Yeah, well, with flying, it's nice because your phone doesn't work. Right. So like, that's nice. But I got to play Augusta, and obviously you can't have your phone. And so it was nice because you're like out there for 4 or 5 hours, and you're like, man, nothing really happened on my phone that was that big of a deal.
That's right.
And so it was that. I think I like that the most about going out there, is like you just not on your phone and you're just enjoying where you're at and what's going on. So I definitely need to try that out some more. But I try to use it as a break too.
Yeah. No, and a lot of people do that just to get away from reality and all that stuff. And there's a lot of private courses throughout the country. You're not even allowed to bring a phone on premise. Obviously, Augusta National is a little different than the rest of them.
But sometimes it ruins my day.
Yeah, the frustration of it, not playing
like
well.
I gotta pick some times, like if I go play at 8 a.m. if I'm not hitting it good, just don't talk to me that day. I'm pissed the rest of the day.
But like from racing standpoint, though, if you're 25th out of 43 guys or 40 guys,
I'm pissed.
are you okay? Yeah, you're pissed.
Yeah.
So, are you still trying to win the race? Or are you trying to get a top 10? Like, from
I'm
a
trying to
pacing
survive if I'm 25th.
Oh, okay, I got it.
No, I'm trying to just. I think the biggest deal is like for instance, like if you're in the PGA Tour and Scotty's beating you by 6 or 7, you're trying to maximize your day. Yeah. I would say like you're just okay. I'm probably
finish
not
as high as you possibly
I'm probably
can,
not gonna win today.
Yeah.
And that's sometimes it's a sucky realization, but like for me, I'm like okay. I'm not going to win today, but I'm going to do the absolute best I can to try to maximize this day to the best I can. Right. And that's kind of what I try to do. And when you don't have a winning car, you just try to do the best you can and work as hard as you can to do that and not lose your mind like you've seen Kyle and some of them do.
Yeah.
But still, like even when you lose your mind, you're still just trying to do the best you can.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
All right, I got to ask this question because, all right, so you've got your villains and you've got your allies in racing. I think the villains are your Dale Earnhardt Seniors, your Kyle Bushes. Mm-hmm. Do you foresee yourself being more of a villain or an ally in racing?
Good question.
Yeah, I could see it going both ways.
Oh, man.
I could see it going both ways. I don't know. I think I could see it going both ways just because, like, even Denny, I feel like, is in the villain era right now.
Agree.
I love, like, kind of what he's doing because, like, for me, like, I never want to, like, obviously, I feel like a lot of our listeners are local, I would say, right now, but a lot of people have seen what my dad's been doing, you know, with, like, the political side of things, but I just don't really care what people think, you know, because at the end of the day,
it's a good
like,
place to be.
Yeah, just because at the end of the day, you know, I'm doing the best I can. And there was a good quote from Aaron Rodgers that I saw the other day, and he said, "Why would I care what people, or you can't accept critiqueness from people you want to take advice from."
Yeah.
So like, if I'm not going to ask you for advice, I don't really care what bad things you have to say to me because I don't care.
Right.
So like, I think the biggest thing is like, if you have people in your circle.
Yeah,
that's where you care what their opinions say. Like if my dad's like, "Hey man, you're being like, you need to fix your attitude," it's different.
All right. Well, let me ask you this though: it's Daytona 500. You're in, right? You're in Cup racing, and Denny Hamlin comes up and wrecks you on the last lap.
Yeah.
Are you walking away and you're licking your wounds, or are you going to Denny and saying, "Hey man, what's up"?
It depends. I think Daytona is like different, you know, because it's super speedway racing. But like, say we're at Martinsville and he just ships me, you know, for no reason and just punts me. Like I would probably say something, or I would say something in an interview. But I don't know. I feel like I'm good at biting my tongue sometimes when there's not, you know, something to say. But I think some people could find me cocky or find me this or find me that, and that's kind of where I was saying I could see it go both ways because I'm not going to go out of my way to apologize for something, you know, like if I did something terrible and be like, all right, you know, that was wrong on my end. But yeah, I think the biggest thing is I just try to be me.
Yeah.
And just be Jake Finch. And if people don't like it, okay. And if people like it, then that's great.
That's right.
You know, just try to do the best at being me. Because I don't want to be somebody that has to act a certain way for people to like me, you know?
Yeah, no doubt.
Let me ask you this, because I grew up going to half-mile asphalts all throughout Georgia, Alabama, Florida. We've lost a lot of those half-mile asphalts. We've lost the Peach State Speedways in Georgia, the Lanier Speedways.
Yep.
We do have Watermelon Capital in Georgia.
Yep.
Why is it dying, and where can we get our half-mile asphalts back up and running? I mean, I know dirt.
You're gonna need a longer segment.
We got to keep it. We got to keep it going.
Yeah, no, I agree. I just think that there's so many sports and so many random things going on that have lost. And I was talking to this with somebody else the other day, but I feel like back in the day there was 3 sports. You know, football, you know, NASCAR and baseball and, you know, your other little sports, but like on television, that's what it, like, especially in the prime of NASCAR, you know, a lot of people would sponsor race cars because you had 11 million viewers on a Sunday and 100,000 fans in the stands. But now you got TikTok and social media and you have, you know, streaming services, and now the coverage is so good. Why would you go sit out in the heat and watch the races? But also it's so expensive. Racing's so expensive, and a lot of people are like, you know, call me daddy's money and this or that or something like that. But, you know, I even can't do it. You can't full-time Xfinity race without help because it's so expensive.
Right.
You know, like it's so expensive, and I probably wouldn't have got the opportunity to run the Xfinity car if Mr. H, didn't help me, and obviously, helped me out with that race. And I appreciate, Mr. Hendrick and everybody with HendrickCars.com to help me with that. But it's just so expensive, and also it's hard to get sponsorships, like I said, just because a lot of these sponsorships are business to business, and leverage sponsorships. But like with TikTok and the engagement you can get for using money on, other platforms than it is in racing, I feel like it's so hard. And I feel like that's also why short track racing's gone downhill, is just because it's so expensive and you can't get support.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
So,
yeah.
And then the fans don't show up. So, a lot of, that's one thing that sucks, is like a lot of people be like, oh man, we need short track racing back, and we get it back and then nobody comes. It's like, well, if you're going to do it, you need help, you need support, you need, And I think one thing that really frustrates me about being in my shoes is like, man, you just turn in circles and blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, like, it's not just that. Like, I wish people would, try to appreciate racing for what it is, because if you're a European and you turn on football, they're going to say, oh man, they're just throwing a football around or a ball around. You could delegitimize any sport. Golf, they're just whacking a ball around all day. But you take appreciation for the sport, then people appreciate it.
Yeah.
Like when you're watching football and you know the coverages and you know what they're doing, you want to watch it more. Same thing for me when I'm watching a NASCAR race. I understand the cautions, I understand the strategy, I understand the side drafting, there's so many things that go into it. And in Formula One, they're like, man, Formula One's so much better than NASCAR. I'm like, well, why?
Yeah. Right.
They don't even race each other.
Right.
But you like it because it's McLaren and Formula One, and Kylie Jenner's at the race and getting their picture taken, and you think it's a lot cooler.
Right.
And because they have $250 million budgets. But in NASCAR, we hit each other, wreck each other, and we might bust each other's nose after the race.
Right.
So to me, if you put it like that, it sounds cooler too.
Yeah.
So I think I think a lot of people have kind of, same thing with Nickelback. Everybody just started, that's so random, but everybody started crapping on Nickelback.
Yep.
And it just became like a laughing stock.
Yep.
Same thing with racing or NASCAR. Everybody's like, man, they started rednecking NASCAR and talking crap about it, and everybody started laughing at NASCAR. And I feel like people just hate it to hate it now. Like there's nothing to hate on, but they're just like, oh, it sucks.
Yeah.
It's kind of that mob mentality. We're joined right here on ESPN Northwest Florida by Jake Finch. We do have a question from one of our listeners. Is there a website where we can get some of that JF swag?
Yeah, shopjakefinch.com.
There you go. Shopjakefinch.com. Great question there, Clayton. We appreciate you commenting there while you're watching. I do have a question for you. Obviously, you started go-karts all the way up. What's your favorite type of car and or track that you like to race on, or with and on?
Yeah, so it's hard because like we were talking about, like NASCAR doesn't race at some of the short tracks like Pensacola or stuff like that, but late models tracks, it would be Pensacola. I love Pensacola, Five Flags Speedway. It's a great racetrack and puts on great racing. NASCAR track, I really like Dover. I like Bristol. Bristol's just so cool. It's so cool. If you don't like
that's
Bristol,
concrete too, right?
Yeah. I like concrete tracks, I guess.
Yeah.
But if you don't like Bristol, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I understand the racing's not as good as it used to be because it's one lane and we can go into that or whatever. But Bristol's cool just because it has like 197,000 seats there or something like that, and it's just the Coliseum, so that's cool.
It's literally an arena almost.
Yeah, Phoenix is cool. I love Phoenix. It's beautiful out there with the sunset and the cactuses, and I love Arizona. Arizona's a beautiful place, and get to play TPC Scottsdale when I go out there. So
nice.
I like that one. So yeah, I like that, and the Xfinity car is now my favorite car to drive. That was just a blast, and it has a lot of power, low downforce. And it was just really fun. Super late model too, but other than that, I guess the Xfinity car and the Super.
Very, very, very cool.
Well, there was a question.
Yes.
Coming from Georgia that I guess he knows Ronnie Sanders really well.
Yeah.
How's it been with Ronnie Sanders being your boss from the late model standpoint? And he's a Georgia Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as racing goes. How's that helped your career?
Man, I think I get that question every time a lot.
Do you?
Yeah, but it's
Ronnie. I've watched Ronnie race back in the day.
Yeah, no, he's a badass. But no, he's so cool. But like everybody's like, man, how is he mentor me and Ronnie? Like we talk about the setup of the race car, and he lets me kind of do my thing, and I let him do his thing, and like if I screw up, he'll tell me like, hey, but man, we've had so much success together. I think we've ran like 20 races and won like 9 or something like that. So
Nice.
so we've had a lot of, so he hasn't been able to get on me too much, you know, so it's been good. But yeah, he's just really good to be around. Him and his wife, Miss Bobby, and that whole crew, they're all very old school, all of them. And it's really funny. I think my favorite part about working with them is just the funny stories, like just old school stories. Man, I wish I was from the like 70s and 80s, you know, like it's just so much cooler back then. You just beat somebody up if they wreck you, and like no repercussions, and they were just soaking tires and cheating. And I think that's so cool. Like the innovation is probably the coolest thing, you know, from back in the day. Like old, I don't know if you ever saw this, but like Dale Jr. with Tony Uri Jr. at Daytona in 2002, they had 65 Budweiser stickers taped up on top of the roof to get all air off the spoiler, just little stuff like that. Now we got Hawkeye laser scanners and stuff, and can't get away with that.
Well, in 1996, I was at a half-mile asphalt, Peach State Speedway. Do you remember Jerry Glanville, the old head football coach for the Atlanta Falcons?
I've heard of him.
Okay.
That was way before me.
Well, Glanville got out of the Falcons and was like, you know what? I'm going to run late models. Well, he was running with Ronnie Sanders back in the 90s.
That's so random.
Yeah. Jerry Glanville, I know, right? Jerry Glanville ran an 81 car.
Yeah.
And then I think Ronnie Sanders was 18 red.
18, yeah.
Well, Glanville, and I don't know if it was Ronnie or not. I want to say it was.
Yeah.
They got into a little tussle out on the front stretch, and I'm talking helmets off, like let's get after it, because it was amazing.
Yeah, he told me one time he pulled an axle out and tried to chase this guy down on the front stretch and beat him up. It's just like, man, now there's too many cameras and like, I can't
everybody's
hurt
so
my image.
sensitive with everything.
Yeah.
Well, let's go back to your Daytona wreck, because we've talked about that.
Yeah.
And I know it's a sore subject. It's a sore subject.
Yeah.
But talk about how, and I know, you know, Dale Earnhardt's crash was at Daytona.
Yep.
What was that like? Wrecking for 190 miles an hour. Like, how did that feel?
Yeah, I think it's crazy. I think, you know, it sucks. Like, everybody puts the commercials and talks about it, but as a driver, it sucks. It hurts. First off, it doesn't feel good. But you know, hitting the wall at 200 is. It's crazy though. Like I don't really have a sensation of speed anymore, really, just because like it's the same thing. Like if you're going 80 on the interstate, it doesn't feel like you're going anywhere. But if you go 80 through Lynn Haven on 77, you feel like you're going really fast. Yes. So whenever when everybody's going 200, it doesn't feel bad. But yeah, I mean, I just got a bad push and just wide open, and I just it's weird because it was really delayed. Like I'm wide open and I get turned and I realize it's like, wah, and then you're turned and then it just hit the fence really hard.
But that force of impact was more than the Dale Earnhardt crash.
Yeah, it was like 50 G's or something like that. Something crazy like that.
Rip out your brain from your skull.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it didn't feel good. But the difference between wrecking and like and that and like a late model is like when I wreck in a late model, we're still going like 160 or 130, whatever we're going. Yeah. Hit the fence and you hit it and it's pretty much done. Like you're over with. I hit the fence the first time and I'm so used to opening. I close my eyes when I wreck and then I close my eyes and I hit the fence. I open my eyes and I was still wrecking for like 2 minutes. And I was like, man, when is this going to be over? And fire's going everywhere. And I'm like, man, I feel like I'm in Cars right now, you know? With
That's
light.
wild.
Yeah. Yeah. So then when I wrecked, I was like turned sideways in the infield, like in the grass facing the backstretch. And I go over the radio, I'm like, and Tyler was just so mad, my spotter, because we kind of got screwed on that deal. And that's just another deal. But I was like, Tyler, can I get out? Like, am I okay? Yeah, but I don't know. It's just part of it.
Yeah.
Did you know what day it was?
I did. Yeah. I mean, I wasn't hurt. Everything was fine. But I did get out and I almost fell because the banking is like 34 degrees out there. And I got out and I stepped out and I was like, almost fell because I was so used to being level. But yeah, no, I mean, it's part of it. You know, it's the same thing with, I guess not. It's not the same thing, but I do have like a bad sensation with that of wrecking because like now I fly planes and I land at like 60 knots or 70 knots and I'm like, man, I've wrecked way harder than this and had no problems. You know, how are people dying because of this?
Right.
Then I realized, you know, you don't have a safe wall or roll cage or a fire suit and helmet and helmets. And I'm like, yeah, I see it. I see it now.
A little different. Yeah. A little different. One more question before we got to take a break, Dick. A lot of people don't realize how in shape and the fitness and the demands that it comes when you're running these speeds. You obviously have to work out, endurance, all that stuff all the time. Just touch on that a little bit, the nutrition, all those different things that, like you were talking about, people just see NASCAR and they think cars are just going around a track.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up.
There is a lot more that goes into it that people don't realize.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I feel like that's one thing, like I said, that I just feel like our sport's so disrespected, you know? It's kind of a crappy feeling, really, because everybody, like, you know, doesn't think it's as cool as what I think. I mean, obviously, I think it's really cool because I do it, but obviously, football is really cool. I love every sport, really, and I have such an admiration for, you know, people, this is off subject and I'll get there in a minute, but people don't respect athletes as much as I feel like they should, you know, like a top level hockey player is still, like, to be the top of any sport is such a ridiculous, the time it takes,
such a small funnel
the talent it takes, the work ethic, like to be the top player or top anything in any sport, whether it's chess or bowling or whatever it is, like is such an incredible feat. But to touch on that with racing, yeah, I mean, we don't have air conditioning whatsoever, and the cars are really hot. They're just straight steel with roll cages. So, at Dover, it was like 130 degrees for 3.5 hours, 4 hours, or whatever it is. And, it's pretty miserable. And then you're wearing 3 layers. You know, you have your fireproof underwear, then you have your fire suit, then you have your helmet, your socks, your gloves, your shoes, and everything. So you have that. We have a cool shirt, which helps a little bit, and it pumps cold water through it, but not much at that temperature. And then I think, you know, we don't have breaks. So like in baseball, you know, you're not playing in the field and you're hitting. You kind of just sit there and hang out until it's your time to hit. But in racing, like, you're working for 4 hours straight. Like, under caution, you're still driving the car.
Non-stop.
And then you have pit stops.
Yep.
You have to use the bathroom. Like, if you have to use the bathroom, you just use the bathroom.
Yeah. But I've never used sweat so much that you don't really, like, the most I've ever lost was like 9 pounds of water weight, something like that.
God.
Yeah. I mean, I burned on Saturday at the Xfinity race, and we still had 67 laps, and it got rain shortened, but I burned 5,900 calories that day.
That's what people don't realize. And you gotta build up so you can lose those calories, and then obviously you gotta replenish all that too when you're done.
So heat retention's a big one, and then just cardiovascular endurance, and then I was probably 2 to 4 G's of lateral load for that long. So, you know, your core and neck strength. I do a lot of neck workouts, like lifting weights with my neck and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it's really physical, and especially road courses, short tracks when you're up on the wheel the entire time. You know, Daytona, Talladega is really easy. Not really easy, but
in comparison
compared to what I'm normally dying at. But it's pretty. I just drink a lot of electrolytes during the race, and then sometimes I'll put like those carb gummies and stuff like that, or sometimes some crackers or something like that, and you try to pound, you know, just to keep nutrients. But I wouldn't say my diet is great. I mean, I don't eat fried chicken anymore at all. I eat a lot of fruit, steak, just try to be pretty good about it. But Sunday, after I raced Friday and Saturday, I burned like whatever it was, 14,000 calories between the 2 days. I ate like crap, but I was just trying to get my my calorie deficiency back.
Absolutely.
But I think there's a lot that goes into it. You know, it's very physical. You know, it doesn't get boring, because a lot of people think it gets boring because they think we're going in circles like a rabbit or a bunny or whatever when they're in the treadmill thing, and it's not like that. Just reaction time, you know, is a big thing, because after 4 hours you're pretty drained. Like I said, it's really hot. Your reaction time goes down, and then you're going 200 mile an hour. So I respect a lot of the Cup guys in any sport. You know, it's kind of like being a fighter pilot, but for 4 hours.
Yeah, driving in a car.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
right.
Well, Jake, we appreciate you coming in. Let's do it again sometime. This was a lot of fun. Jake Finch, now driving the number 17 car for Hendrick Motorsports. We appreciate your time, and hopefully see you soon. Good luck with the rest of this year, and we'll be right back with Aaron Bearden from Instant Replay Sports Cards.
ESPN ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Atlanta Braves play here.
Can the Atlanta Braves make another second half run? Can history be duplicated?
Is this happening? It is! The Atlanta Braves are world champions!
This is why we play the game.
Grissom on the run! Yes!
ESPN Northwest Florida. Good afternoon. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Friday. A chance of thunderstorms and some clouds the remainder of the day with a moderate breeze out of the south at 13 miles per hour and look for it to be 86. Tonight, there will be partly cloudy skies with the temperature reaching 80. Mostly sunny and a likelihood of thunderstorms tomorrow with a high of 87. This weather is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
In a world full of noise, one name cuts through it all.
Amplify AI.
We help HVAC, plumbing, and home service pros get found fast. More leads, more calls, more results. This ain't just marketing. It's AI-powered performance.
Amplify AI.
Hear the roar.
Call Lee at 850-299-1269. Amplify AI.
That bear ain't just for show.
With over 65 years of combined experience, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to help you take your collection to the next level. They carry all the new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia, and supplies. New and vintage cards in Pokemon. They sell and trade cards and are always looking to buy. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards is open 7 days a week at 752 West 23rd Street, down from Academy Sports. It can always be reached at InstantReplaySportsCards.com.
Broadcasting from the Gulf Plus studios, it's the Inside Drive. Now, taking your collection to the next level. It's the Instant Replay Sports Cards Box Break. With Aaron Bearden on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. It's been a little while since I talked to my good friend Aaron, and obviously been a little while because now he's got a beautiful rejoiner. And Aaron Bearden from down there at Instant Replay Sports Cards. Aaron, how are you doing today?
Fantastic. How are you guys?
Doing wonderful. Trying to stay dry a little bit, but a good thing the studio is indoors because we are definitely certainly staying dry. As I mentioned, it has been a little while since we talked. A lot of new releases coming into the shop, I'm sure. Talk about some of those new ones that people can get their hands on.
Yeah, well, Topps Chrome is the big one right now. Topps Chrome Baseball just came out. It's been a loaded product, and of course, got those MVP buyback cards that everybody's looking for. So, yeah, whoever wins MVP in the NL and AL this year, hang on to those base Topps Chrome cards or the refractors. Bring those back in once MVPs are announced, and they are worth a good chunk of money in store credit right on the spot.
Such a great program Topps does there. Be interesting to see who ends up getting those MVPs. Obviously, Shohei's always in the mix, Aaron Judge, but the big dumper, Cal Raleigh, now having arguably an MVP type season for these Seattle Mariners. Obviously, breaking all those catchers' records, but make sure you pay attention. Topps Chrome MVP buyback program is always a popular one and a great one to see back there in the store. Summer also, Aaron, is card show season. What are some of the more recent ones you've attended, and maybe what's next on the docket, if there are any?
Yeah, well, we were at Fanatics Fest in New York City, which is probably the biggest event of the summer. I know we've got the National coming up in Chicago here in about a week, but Fanatics Fest is really kind of the X factor, the wild card in it, because didn't know, it's only the second time they've done that in New York.
Wow.
And Topps really pulled out all the stops. Tons of big names, huge celebrities there. Really, most of the biggest names in sports were there for it, and a lot of things on display. In addition to being a card show, just a lot of things on display for fans of sports and collecting. So you could go and see, a lot of game used and, really important pieces from some of these major athletes. Everybody from Serena Williams and Simone Biles to Ken Griffey and Tom Brady and Shohei and just really, really incredible kind of overload of stuff to see and experience and do.
Yeah, no, sounds like not just for people who are in the business, but just anybody who loves sports, memorabilia, collecting, and all that stuff. Sounds like a really good time.
It was massive. We were in New York City for the whole weekend and then some, and I mean, Fanatics made it known all over the city that this event was going on. They were sponsoring some stuff that night at the Yankees game, which we were at, which was pretty cool to see. Fanatics and Topps cards get mentioned there at the ballpark. It's a good sign for the hobby, for collecting when, they're getting the word out. Because we have a lot of people that still come in and go, I didn't know they made baseball cards anymore. Well, yeah, they've never stopped.
Yep.
But it's good to see, Fanatics and some of these companies making sure people are aware of what's going on. And then coming up next, we're going to Boston in a couple of weeks for a fan expo up there. And they're going to have some pro wrestlers, I know, representing the sports side of things. And looking forward to seeing what we can find in Boston. Going to be at a Red Sox game while we're there.
Dang, take advantage.
As well.
Yankees and the Red Sox both this summer. That's good stuff up there at Fenway Park. And that's one of the things I was just thinking about while you were talking about that. Obviously you guys have your marketing, all the things you do. You get the new products in, you put it out on whatever mediums you use. But you got to be a little reliant, too, on Topps and all these different companies, Fanatics, which is like the parent company nowadays, to also market these products. So consumers, like you just said, know everything is out there, and then they can obviously come to Instant Replay to get some of that awesome stuff.
Sure, yeah, and it's a bit of a give and take back and forth with them because, like you said, we need them to get the word out that they're producing some of these cool cards and some of the things people can get because they'll make some of these really amazing cards, but it doesn't mean they're going to get pulled at every shop. Some of them are very, very rare. It might only be 1 or 5 or 10 of these cards worldwide. So it's cool when it hits social media and people see, oh, that's the kind of stuff going on with sports cards now. Maybe it wasn't going on like that when they were young. And so we rely on that, but also they rely on shops because card collecting is not the simple hobby it was 40 years ago. There's so much more to it than just buy a pack, pull your favorite player. So they're relying on shops to educate a lot of the collectors on what's going on with things like the MVP buyback program or these various weird, kind of one-off cards that they make that people are after. Upper Deck just released Goodwin Champions. That's a multi-sport product. They have a bounty program in there. There are certain cards you look for that have a code on the back you scratch off. You enter it online. If you found one of everybody in this bounty program, then they're going to send you a Lamine Yamal autographed card.
Ooh, wow.
Like the first, I think, 50 people or something that complete this bounty thing. So that's the kind of thing they rely on hobby shops to get the word out and explain to people, what could be happening in their pack of cards.
Absolutely. A lot of stuff going on people may not realize is going on. Obviously, news yesterday, Aaron Hulk Hogan passed away at the age of 71 due to cardiac arrest. Obviously, a lot of people Jay's age, my age, they kind of grew up with that era of wrestling. Any Hulk Hogan merchandise do you have or have it come through your shop or your purchase or anything personal?
Yeah, we've got a couple of Hogan signed cards. He signed a lot of stuff with Leaf in the last few years. So I know we've got a card that's sort of like a Leaf 80s Icons card, and it's signed by Hulk Hogan, Magic Johnson, and Joe Montana.
Wow.
Which is pretty cool.
Interesting.
3 of the top
trifecta,
names. Yeah, if you were watching some sports in the 80s, man, you couldn't miss those 3 guys. And I know we've got another wrestling card with 8 signatures, including Hogan, Ric Flair. Oh man, I'm gonna show my lack of wrestling knowledge here. I think Goldberg, Steve Austin. I forget I know it's 8 signatures on the card. I know it's off being graded right now. It got pulled a few weeks ago.
Sweet.
So that should be back pretty soon. Yeah, he signed a lot for Leaf, like I say, particularly the last few years. I remember as a kid, because we were all kind of, if you were a kid back then, you probably were into a little bit of wrestling. So I remember going to wrestling shows. I never got to see Hogan. I saw Andre the Giant. I saw Ultimate Warrior and Sting and pretty much everybody except Hogan I got to see in person.
Yeah. And speaking of grading, which you just said that card is off being graded, one of the things we probably haven't talked about in a while is the grading services that you offer there at Instant Replay with CGC. Tell everybody listening about what you can do, because obviously everybody wants, they pull a great card, if it's in a slab or if, it's like one of the wild cards that's already locked, maybe not need to get it graded. But if you pull a great card and want to have it graded, or multiple cards, they can come see you guys, right?
Absolutely, yeah. We are a CGC authorized dealer. Now, of course, anybody could just send stuff off to CGC if you're a member, but you get a little bit of extra protection and sometimes some better deals going through an authorized dealer, and they're very picky about it. They told us we're the only CGC authorized store in the northern half of Florida.
Wow.
So what that means for the collectors, no matter what you collect, CGC is the top name in comic book collecting. They are the top name in currency grading as well as comic books. They now own JSA, so they are the top autograph authenticators, and they are owned in a large part by Fanatics. And Fanatics is going to be using them moving forward to make them the grading card, the grading company of choice. So you can come in here, bring any of that stuff in. We've sent comic books off for people and, all that stuff, and get it graded and certified by CGC or JSA if it's autographed. And they ship it right back to us. Like I say, we can save you a little bit of time. We do get a little bit of a preference on getting things sent in as an authorized dealer. And, hopefully increase the value of your collectibles and preserve and protect them for the future.
Yeah, like you said, not only about increasing value, but also protecting that card as well. We're on the line with Aaron Bearden from Instant Replay Sports Cards down there in the Stanford Station Shopping Plaza. New TV show, The Card Show. How's that going on Fox here locally, Aaron?
Yeah, man, Card Shop Show has been great. We are working on new episodes last night, and particularly doing an episode all about going to Fanatics Fest, going and seeing some really cool stuff. The Yankees were super generous and gracious and invited us at Yankee Stadium to kind of go behind the scenes and get to see and examine and hold some Yankee artifacts from the past. Mickey Mantle jersey from 1964, and one of Aaron Judge's bats, and some stuff even cooler than that, which will be on, I believe, next week's episode.
Sweet.
And in the future, we've got some big interviews lined up. I'm actually doing one a little later today for a future episode. And as well as it informs potential collectors, new collectors, maybe parents of kids who collect. And, we get the moms and dads that say, hey, I don't really get it. Can you help me out? So they don't, go down the wrong path or make a mistake, sell a great card for way too cheap, something like that. So, we try to put a lot of that information out there that we've accumulated. We've been doing this for 36, 37 years, something like that now. So all of the, the cycles, the scams, the mistakes, we've seen all of it before. So just trying to save people some time and money and headache.
Yeah, education is key in this type of a business, that's for sure. Remind our listeners, what channel and what time does that air on?
Yeah, it comes on Fox 28 here locally, which is WPGX. And they air new episodes on Saturday mornings, I believe, at 10:30. And then they'll also air it again on Sunday morning at about 10 or 11. And then we're working on, they've got a syndication deal lined up to show it in some other markets and to show it online as well. If you have Hulu Live, I think it is, Hulu Plus, something like that. Yeah, someone's told me you can get it on there as well, if you don't have local channels.
Awesome.
So we're trying to make it available for everybody to see it because, we want that information out there. I hate to see people, throw money away on something or get taken advantage of by some unscrupulous people. So trying to help get a better, more informed, and ultimately, happier, healthier hobby.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, you get burned once, it may kind of push you away from the hobby a little bit and maybe a detractor instead of a attractor to get into hobby sports cards and memorabilia collection. Aaron, I got some rapid fire questions again for you to kind of finish out our segment today.
Love them.
Jordan or LeBron?
Man, that's a great one. That may be the question.
The
right
biggest
now in
debate in sports, right? Yeah, absolutely.
Man, who was it? Man, Phil Jackson, Pat Riley, one of those all-time great coaches. He said LeBron is the best basketball player of all time, but Jordan is the greatest.
Yeah, I've heard that one. Yep, that makes sense.
I love that. Here's the thing: if your life's on the line and you got a second left and somebody's got to take the shot, Jordan wants the ball. I don't, nothing against LeBron. He's put the numbers up. But maybe Jordan's got that killer instinct that, a handful of athletes have had, like a Joe Montana or something. Not to question, LeBron's commitment, but I mean, Jordan, man, is there anything the guy would be afraid of on the court? I don't think so. I don't think he saw a game as, unwinnable.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. The greatest debate in sports, some might call it. Rarest card in your shop right now? I've probably asked you that before. Maybe I haven't. I don't remember.
Yeah, and that's, people ask that a lot. Obviously, 101 is going to be as rare as it gets.
Absolutely.
But there are tons of 101s out there. We've got a lot of them in the shop.
Yes.
If you like a certain player, having a 101 of that player, even if it's not a really valuable, expensive card, at least you've got something in your collection that makes it special and unique and different from any other collection of that player.
Absolutely. 101's only one in their production. Speaking of production, what's the most underrated card brand, in your opinion?
That's a good one. I'm a little biased on this one. I'm gonna say Leaf.
I totally
Leaf
agree with that.
Killing it.
Yes.
Leaf is killing it. They are the best return on investment.
100%.
Now, if anybody wants to argue and this card sold for $1 million, listen to what I'm saying. Best return on investment. You can buy a Leaf box for like $100 with 5 autographs in it. You got a better chance of getting your $100 back than some of the other brands where you're spending $1,000 and you're getting like 2 autographs. Seen a lot of those boxes get opened and have $50 worth of cards in it.
Yeah,
I think Leaf's got a better chance. You may not hit a $100,000 card, but you're going to get your money back. You're going to get some great names and some really cool card designs. They've been stepping it up the last couple of years.
Yeah, Leaf's one of my favorite because, like you said, it's kind of the best bang for your buck if you're looking for some bigger, kind of cooler cards, and it's not going to cost you that much. Some fun multiple auto cards in their world as well. Like you said, some of these got 4, 5, 6, 7, even 8 autographs on a single card, which makes it pretty darn cool.
And as big a name as anybody else, as far as their autographs. I mean, they get Messi, they get Mahomes,
yep.
Paul Skeens. They had all these guys. We just had a grading shipment come back today with a Leaf 1-of-1 Patrick Mahomes autograph that had been graded.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, don't sleep on them just because, people on the internet tell you should only collect Topps or Panini.
Yes, absolutely. I wholeheartedly agree with the Leaf products being the most underrated. Couple more overhyped product this year.
Overhyped, man, as a whole product. Ooh, that's a tough one. I mean, most of them have something decent.
Yeah.
In there. I'm going to be the outlier here. I would say something like Optic when it comes to football.
Yeah.
Because everybody's just chasing those downtown cards, and they're not what they used to be. They're non-numbered. They can make as many of them as they want. We're hearing more and more reports of cards like that were supposed to be case hits that instead people are finding multiples in one box, and then certainly 5 or 10 in one case. So to spend that kind of money just to chase a card like that, one of those products, to me it doesn't make financial sense. If you want that card because you like that player, just go buy one of those downtown cards.
Yeah, and the downtown, like you just said, kind of got overproduced a little bit, so it's not quite the excitement that it used to be. All right, last one. This is kind of a wild one. Favorite card show snack?
Ooh. Yeah, that's one nobody asked.
Little off.
Off topic. If someone going, they're even working shows. I mean, we've done hundreds and hundreds of shows. Man, anything that doesn't leave your fingers messy or greasy, because you're going to have to be handling cards, particularly if you're handling someone else's cards. They're bringing things in to sell. You don't want to get something on their card. So, yeah, I mean, you honestly try to avoid that as much as possible during the day. But, yeah, those little balance break things. We have those here at the shop. They have like a little bit of cheese and like a little piece of cracker and some cranberries or something in there, something like that. Something kind of easy to work with, and yeah. Hopefully, you're so busy buying and selling and trading cards that you don't even worry about snacks.
Yeah, there you go. All right, Aaron, what you got coming up tonight and this weekend?
All right, tonight, Friday night, 6 p.m., Kids Club right here at Instant Replay. Bring those kids in for $10 or less. They can get in on some breaks with other kids, just like what they're seeing the adults do online. But this way, it's face-to-face. They get to hang out with other kids that like what they like, and we send them home with a ton of stuff. We've got a couple of customers this week open boxes up. They got the handful of cards up they wanted, and they said, here, give these to the kids on Friday night. So kids definitely go home with way more than $10 worth of cards. Tomorrow, we've got breaks in the store at 12 o'clock, group breaks, sit around the table, the other collectors, open up all kinds of cool, fun, new product. And, we have Pokemon tomorrow at 5 o'clock, Pokemon League Challenge right here in the shop. And as many of you out there know, if you've been in the past week, we're expanding. We have more than doubled the size of the shop, so we're going to have a lot more room going forward for Pokemon play, for Rip Night and events like that. And we got a lot of really cool things lined up for all the new space we've got.
Awesome.
So definitely be talking about that in the next few weeks.
Well, Aaron, we appreciate you as always. Glad to be back on the show with you. Go check out Instant Replay Sports Cards down there in the Stanford Station Shopping Plaza, right next to Academy Outdoors and Sweet Frog Creamery. Aaron, have a great weekend. Have a great rest of your day.
You guys, too. Take care, everybody. Stay safe, stay dry. Come see us.
All right, that was Aaron Beard, and we'll be back with our final segment here on ESPN Northwest Florida when we get back.
Take ESPN Northwest Florida with you everywhere you go.
Anytime, anyplace, anywhere.
The sports talk and live play-by-play doesn't have to end when you get out of the car. The ESPN Northwest Florida app streams your favorite sports talk hosts and the biggest games in ultra-high fidelity.
This is of utmost importance in travel.
Take the sports talk monster with you anywhere you go. Available for Android and iPhone.
Use it anywhere or any place.
When it comes to building smart and roofing right, TK Vandy's is the name you can trust. They're your go-to for general contracting, design build solutions, and top quality roofing. From concept to completion, they deliver excellence on time and on budget. Whether it's a custom build or a complex renovation, they've got you covered. Literally. Call TK Vandy today and build something better together. TK Vandy, built with purpose, roofed with pride.
There's a reason we call it the big one, because the biggest deals of the year are happening now at Panama City Toyota. And you can get 3.99% APR on the award-winning Camry, plus 90 days until you make your first payment, and 3.99% on the new RAV4, plus 90 days until you make your first payment. Get 2.99% on the Bolt Tacoma, or take the lead and get 1.99% on the powerful Tundra. The big one, right now at Panama City Toyota.
Offers expire August 4th. For details, visit PanamaCityToyota.com.
Let's see. Diamond stud earrings for Marcy, Bulova watch for Tommy, tennis bracelet for Kathy, and Keith wants a 14-karat chain. Oh, and Hannah wants those white gold hoop earrings.
Okay, guys, Santa gave me his list. He knows that Tracy's Fine Jewelry has the largest selection and lowest prices you'll find anywhere. We've stopped the cases, slashed the prices, and we're offering a free 6-month layaway on our entire jewelry selection. For a stress-free holiday, Tracy's Fine Jewelry, where Santa shops.
When the chips are down and the games are close, the 2025 Atlanta Braves don't give up the fight.
Ozuna sends one soaring to deep left field. That's got wings and an engine, and it's 3-1 Braves.
Tonight, the Braves head to Arlington for a series against Adolis Garcia and the Texas Rangers at Globe Life Field.
Braves traveling to Texas, pregame 5:50, first pitch 7:05. Your home for the Braves on the Gulf Coast, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Now back to the Inside Drive, live and local from the Gulf Plus studios. This is where heroes are created, legends are born, and dynasties forged. The Sports Talk Monster, ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to Ryan Mulvey and the Inside Drive.
And welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Jay, thanks for getting Jake Finch on the show today.
Yes, sir.
That was fantastic. I heard from a lot of people texting me during those segments. Just really enjoyed kind of diving into the behind-the-scenes look of everything that goes on. And we're kind of blessed to have a guy that's so successful in racing right here in our own backyard. So keep his golf game moving in the right direction. We don't need more broken clubs going around out there. But we're going to mix it up. Always love to do Afternoon Delight Debrief with Jay. So we're going to finish our show today with the Afternoon Delight Debrief. Jay, do you got any
Well, there was a guy that did a review on Little Caesars pizza.
Oh, is it funny or is it mean?
A little bit of both. However you want to
However you want to take it.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
But this guy had stopped into this Little Caesars just to get a $6 pizza and ended up in a full-on action movie. Just as I grabbed my order, this furious dude barges in yelling about how I cut him off in traffic earlier.
Oh, I did see this.
Did you?
Yes.
Before I could even respond, he threw a punch, but then out of nowhere, the guy behind the counter jumps over the counter like he's been waiting for this moment for his whole entire life and just beats the living HE double hockey sticks out of the guy.
Yeah, hell's good.
Okay. The guy ran off, and the cashier just dusted himself off and said, "Are you okay, man?" And he looked me dead in the eye and said, insert explicit with the B word.
Yeah.
"This is Little Caesars. We always hot and ready."
Man. The cashier, the unknown here, like the article said, seems like he was just kind of waiting for that moment, sitting on go for somebody to do something stupid, and then he can act.
5 stars.
Yeah, 5 stars for Little Caesars, no doubt about it. I've had this one for a few days, but I was waiting for you to be on the show to read it because it just kind of doesn't make me think of you, but it's kind of in your wheelhouse.
Oh, I can't wait.
Here's the title. Florida veteran convinces 2 female officers to have a 3-way instead of giving him a ticket. Yeah. Want to hear about it?
Go ahead.
Daniel Sharp, 32, a Marine Corps combat veteran, was pulled over at 3 a.m. leaving a Taco Bell for going 29 in a 20-mile-per-hour zone.
A Taco Bell, really?
Yeah, 24 hours, man.
Right, keep going.
The bell calls, it rings, you go. Then 2 unidentified female deputies began to approach the vehicle. That's when the real trouble began. Instead of handing over his Florida-issued driver's license and proof of insurance, Sharp began to seduce the officers and began to perform sexual acts in the back of the vehicle. Other officers arrived on the scene to find both deputies and Mr. Sharp fully undressed in the middle of lewd acts in public. A spokesperson said, and then the article kind of drops out there, but you get the gist of it. You get the gist of it.
Did he end up in jail?
I would assume so. Yeah. Certainly persuasive by any stretch of the imagination.
Guys, it does not work. It works the other way around, but it doesn't work.
Apparently, he was good with the Old English language, as he made some stuff happen, that's for sure.
Yeah.
This is just a really brief one. This just came out, I think, yesterday. Former Memphis defensive back Taj Rael sent University of Texas San Antonio quarterback Owen McCown Memphis's playbook before the Tigers played the Roadrunners last season. Rael left the Memphis program on October 9th last season. Memphis played University of Texas San Antonio on November 2nd. University of Texas San Antonio defeated Memphis 44-36, and it just shows a screenshot of the text messages. He said, "Here you go. That's all the signals. Far left is coverages. I'll send you better list showing you the call, but they run quarters and none of the safeties can cover, by the way. No reroutes on the slot. The field safety is the weakest link on the defense due to his hamstring hurting, but running out of eligibility. So when you play him, he's number 0. Kind of wild. That's like against like the football code,
right,
so to speak, is to do something like that. But hey, it happened, and here we are.
How about that?
Got one?
Well, it's kind of. I mean, what about this?
I just talked about 2 cops having a 3-way with a former Marine veteran, so I don't think anything's off the table at this point.
Well, now that we're on the subject, I mean, I haven't been here in a while, and it's kind of old news at this point.
It's
but
okay.
What about like that Coldplay incident?
Oh, yeah. Well, and breaking news here on the show is that's how you and Joanna's relationship ended. You were caught at a Coldplay concert, embracing one another, right, and then the rest is history. But yeah. I mean, we've talked about it a little bit, but that's maybe something we haven't dove into.
Is Joanna still doing the weather?
She is. She is still rocking and rolling.
All right. Yeah. Well, good. I'm glad to know that.
Yeah. I'm sure. Now, she asks about you all the time, but I tell them you're busy teaching golf, right, trying to bring the youth of the world up to a better level in life and
she
sport.
misses you.
She does. Sometimes she goes off the wall with her reporting, and then the weather's not right, and she always blames it on you.
Well, the cone for the hurricane is getting narrower and narrower. So, I mean, the AI is doing its job, right? Like,
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean in general?
The general.
In general, yes. It's getting more accurate.
Yeah, more accurate.
Yes.
Yeah,
Joanna's not AI. She just had a very robotic voice. That's all.
I got you.
You can't go on dates with AI. I mean, maybe you can. It is 2025. I don't really know how it goes, but go ahead. What were you going to dive?
No, I mean, I wanted to see your thoughts on all of that.
There's a lot of conspiracies that have been out with that as well. Like the lady that was on the side of that kind of ducked to the side. She was smiling really big, like she was, part of the scheme, the elaborate scheme from his now soon-to-be ex-wife that knew they were going to be there. Like made sure that they got on camera and then all that other stuff. So, I mean, but, you always got to take those kind of things with a grain of salt because you never know if they are really true or not. But, some wild stuff. And we talked about kind of we deep dove into how many people it's going to hurt, how much it's going to cost.
I can't even imagine.
Like, I mean, just imagine being the kids in that situation. And, you'd have to almost probably leave school at that point because kids can be mean. That is for sure. Yeah. I do have one more. And then we can kind of finish up the show here. The official FIFA match ball contains cutting-edge internal sensor systems that tracks its movement in real time. At its core, a small device containing accelerometers, gyroscopes, known as an inertial measurement unit, records the ball's speed, spin, and direction changes with high precision. The ball also includes ultra-wideband technology, which communicates with stadium antennas to pinpoint the exact location on the field. This enables officials and analysts to access detailed data on every touch, pass, and shot. The sensor is lightweight, balanced, and secured by a specialized suspension system, ensuring it does not impact the ball's movement or feel, even during intense play.
Wow.
Wow, indeed. Wow, indeed. They're making it...
a lot of science.
A lot of science. A lot of science going into this stuff nowadays. But, it just continues to be... And it's like the refs in... The potential robot refs that have been tested in the minor leagues right now that may never or may come to the Major League Baseball as well. I mean, do you think there's a point where we're going to go too far with just really getting super technical with everything?
Absolutely.
So you'd rather kind of see the games move more back to just human error. Yeah. Officiating, if the call's the call, it is what it is.
I mean, I want to go back to, like a foul pole, right? I mean, I want no replays.
Yeah.
Like, let's just play the game as
whatever
it
call's called.
Yeah, but that's my age talking.
Yeah, I hear there's a lot of people in that same ball game as you, and then kind of on the flip side, if we go back to that where we've been and the availability to post on social media and criticize and all that stuff, I think that would put more pressure on the officials, the umpires, the refs, whatever it may be, and may get ourselves into a little bit more trouble.
Yeah, I mean,
Rafael Campos.
Yeah,
he's the one that ejected Coastal Carolina's coach and first base coach after he'd already been kicked out of the major leagues for being a quick ejector and not very good on strikes and balls calls. But I digress. That's neither here nor there.
Did we hit a spot this morning? Did we, Mulvey?
Maybe. I'm still getting over it.
I got it.
Still getting over it. But he'll be suspended for the first 2 games of the next season, which is wild.
Yeah.
But, hey, it is what it is. Yeah. Don't forget your Atlanta Braves. Maybe they can win a ball game tonight. They didn't lose yesterday, Jay. But they didn't play yesterday.
We call that a winning streak.
Yes, absolutely. I think the afternoon underdogs are going to be dropping off just a little bit early. Coverage starts at 5:50 tonight. First pitch at the Texas Rangers tonight at 7:05. Coming up on Saturday, 4:50 coverage. First pitch 6:05, and then Sunday the matinee game 12:20 coverage. First pitch 1:35. Again, it's a 3-game series on the road in Arlington against the Texas Rangers. We appreciate the Atlanta Braves being sponsored locally by Bill Burke Kia, PCB Hobby, Panama City Toyota, Hewitt Tire and Auto, and Hometown Towing. Jay, appreciate you coming in this Friday. Look forward to seeing you again sometime soon. Yes, stay dry, stay cool. Have a great weekend. Y'all do the same out there. We appreciate you tuning in. You've been listening to The Inside Drive. Afternoon Underdogs coming up next.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The Paul Feinbaum Show.
If there's ever been a show that needs to be flipped on a dime, this is it. The first hour was absolutely miserable.
I'm trying to think of the experiences I've had in my life that I would compare. Probably a colonoscopy would be close. I once had all 4 wisdom teeth taken out the same day. I think that was pretty bad.
Paul Feinbaum, weeknights, 6 to 10 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Friday. A chance of thunderstorms and some clouds the remainder of the day with a moderate breeze out of the south at 13 miles per hour and look for it to be 86. Tonight, there will be partly cloudy skies with the temperature reaching 80. Mostly sunny and a likelihood of thunderstorms tomorrow with a high of 87. This weather is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Looking for dependable civil construction in the Florida Panhandle? CBC Construction has you covered. From land clearing and drainage to roads and underground utilities, CBC delivers high-quality work on time and on budget. Locally owned and operated, CBC is trusted by schools, developers, and municipalities. To learn more, call CBC Construction 850-740-3815 or visit cbcconstruction.com. That's cbcconstruction.com.
Whether you're an experienced investor or first-time buyer, Beach House will provide you with top-notch service to guide you through every step of the process. We make the real estate process fun and easy through effective marketing, strategic advertising, and always a client-focused experience. From single-family homes to full-scale developments, Beach House Sales Development has you covered. Check them out at Beach House.